How is everybody doing today? And in this video, we are going to talk about our upcoming A rank that is going to be in Zenless, and that is going to be Pulchra. Now, Pulchra realistically is going to be our first taste for most players. If you're not excited about getting trigger when it comes to the Aftershock meta, that basically, when I look at all of these parts together, looking at Ambi's, I guess you could say showcase, looking at Trigger showcase, and now looking at Pulchra showcase, it seems that for the fact that Aftershock is mentioned in all of these guys' kits, it's actually very interesting for me personally. I think this is going to be our new era of damage when it comes to characters that are able to work off field, and it's going to be very exciting for the most part. We are going to look at Pulchra's kit, and then we're going to start looking at things that are going to affect other characters when it comes to what she's able to do for certain teams or who she's going to replace in the meta. So let's go ahead and start looking at Pulchra's kit. I'm very excited to see what our new physical stunner is going to do, and especially as an A rank.
And he's now working under Caesar.
Jumping ship to another faction? That's a mercenary for you.
Even among mercenaries, Miss Pulchra is a force to be reckoned with. As a physical attribute stun agent, Pulchra excels in aftershock attacks, coordinating with her teammates to hunt down enemies.
So this is where I say that we are kind of easing into a brand new meta, especially with the word Aftershock being given to all of these characters. Ambi, Trigger, and also Pulchra as well. It seems that all of these characters in some way, form, or fashion allow a plethora of off-field time when it's not their turn, or when you're having to switch out for another character. Now, this realistically is something very, very strong that I hope, this is something I actually hope for when it comes to the meta in Zenless for the most part. I do expect and hope that this mechanic is only allowed on the attack roll. I think to be able to balance the power of Anomaly versus the power of the attackers, Anomaly can be very overtuned very quickly, especially with how easy it is to play that team, how cost efficient it is to build the relics for that team, and also for the most part, the uptime and the damage that you're going to be providing within that team. Because you have characters like Miyabi, you have characters like Bernice, you have Jane Doe, you have all these other Anomaly characters that are absolutely nasty when it comes to what they're able to provide for the team. And not only that, they have almost 100% uptime with the damage that they're able to do. They don't really have to wait on stunners. You can do so, but you don't have to, which is the great part about Anomaly. While attackers, for the most part, before Evelyn, and also of course before Astra came out, these characters had to basically sacrifice their field time for the stunners and the supports on the team, especially the stunners, because most of the characters currently, when it comes to characters like Julian, when it comes to characters that are boosting the damage percentage like Chingy, or even giving bonuses like Lighter, you kind of have to stop the field time with the attacker so that you can get these big bonuses that kind of help you out with the time loss on your attacker. Now that we are looking into aftershocks, which seem to be something that is going to be off-field reliant, something that whenever this character's on the field, they have something to help out with the damage, which is absolutely beautiful, something that is very, very strong for the attacking role. I do hope that this is something that they keep specifically on this role, just because it makes a lot of sense. Anomaly has so much uptime because of the way they do their damage. They basically do reactions, they get disorders proc days. With the days being built up, they passively get that big multiplier eventually, and then they get a big boom later on. While attackers, they kind of have to build up their way to get that big damage and then finally start doing it. But with us getting this aftershock damage, which is going to be coming with Pulchra, coming with Trigger, coming with Ambi, this is going to be the fix, I hope, that attackers needed in order to be able to compete with something like Anomaly. Now, we've already seen a character, of course, like Evelyn, who is absolutely amazing what she does. She does a really crap ton amount of damage when it comes to all that she's able to do. Plus, she has a lot of really good off-field time with her being able to use her skill whenever she has a string attached, and this just allows her to do so many great things, especially with the boost that she gives herself and her getting stronger as the fight goes on, with her being able to permanently give herself a stack. Looking at this, we are definitely moving in the right direction for the attacking role, and like I said, hopefully this sticks with just the attackers, because if you give this to Anomaly characters, it's over. It literally is over. That will be the most overtuned thing in the world. You will get disorders nonstop. The bars will be constantly full because you will always be attacking the enemy. This just needs to stay on those characters. Any character can have it, but anomaly characters. That's all I beg for. But let me know what you think in the comments below if you think anomaly characters should eventually get this. But me personally, I think to fix the overall anomaly versus attacker meta, I would love for this to be just straight up only on the attackers.
Enough energy, press special attack to have Pulchra enter.
But it's insane the amount
increasing her day
of times you see Pulchra come out and help out with the days. That is going to help insane.
During this time, if the on-field agent hits an enemy with a special attack or EX special attack, Pulchra will target that enemy, and any damage dealt to the target thereafter may trigger follow-up attacks from Pulchra.
Look at that. You can basically use your skill in order to target the right enemy you want Pulchra to focus on, which I think is so cool. And the fact that, again, we're allowing attackers to do their job without having to sacrifice field time for stunners, for supporters. This is absolutely beautiful and a really good way to get people adjusted to this brand new style with giving, of course, an A rank like Pulchra out alongside, of course, Trigger and Ambi.
If she doesn't have enough energy, or while Pulchra isn't on the field, she can also enter Hunter's Gate via an evasive assist.
This is beautiful. They're giving multiple different ways for you to be able to trigger Pulchra's damage when she doesn't have energy, which is beautiful. I really like this character. I like what they're basically putting down in terms of a brand new meta alongside with basically Ambi having same thing with Trigger, and now we have an A rank like Pulchra helping out with the days. This is a really good step forward in what we're looking at in terms of the meta for Zenless, because as we've known for so long, of course, this has been mitigated with Evelyn's release, with Astra's release. Anomaly has been king for so long, and this just looks like a really good way to balance out the meta, to allow more teams to be able to hit that threshold that a lot of these other anomaly teams are basically on the brink on, I guess you could say, or the layer on. But looking again, although yes, we're getting Aftershock, getting characters that can do off-field damage, all that. Hope no one expects them to do Ambi type of, not Ambi type of stuff, my bad, Miyabi type of stuff, because Miyabi is basically, for the most part, going to be our #1 until the next Miyabi comes out, or the next Void Hunter, which is definitely going to be a long time from now, and they're probably going to be saving stuff like that for the anniversary, which would be super exciting. So realistically, this is going to be first of many. You can expect future characters to have this mechanic. You don't have to immediately pull for all of them if you want the full Aftershock meta, which, hey, that sounds like it's going to be nasty. Trigger, Ambi, and realistically, I would love to try Astra with that team, but having those characters plus maybe even Pulchra, because maybe you can have doubles plus Ambi, hey, I don't know, having so much outfield damage that it kind of works in your favor, that could be something we try out in the future. I do want to see, because I genuinely haven't looked at it, where are the banners when it comes to who's on what banner. It looks like Ambi might be on Pulchra's exclusive channel, Electric Reflection, and then, yep, okay, so Ambi and Pulchra will be on the same banner. That works for me, because guess what? I'm going to be pulling a crap ton of Ambis, hopefully, and we're going to get some dupes on her, so I'm 100% excited for that. That is 100% going to be something I'm going to gun for. But other than that, that's pretty much it when it comes to looking at Pulchra and, of course, all the characters we've been seeing so far. And I'm assuming they show us the reruns as well, which, if I'm not wrong, I did see Juyin already, and if I'm not wrong, it's also Bernice. These are definitely going to be characters I talk about very soon, similar in this style, but of course, we will actually have, I guess you could say, in-game results or anything I can show you regarding these two characters, which realistically, these two characters are still very strong. Bernice a little bit has fallen down just a tiny bit when it comes to the power that she's able to provide, just because the amount of brute forcing a lot of these anomaly characters are currently doing when it comes to Yanagi, when it comes to Miyabi, when it comes to all of these other characters. I think Bernice has fallen just a little bit. She's still a very strong character because of her off-field potential, and someone like Juyin as well, with the right pieces, can be absolutely monstrous. So there's a lot of things you have to talk about when it comes to reruns, when it comes to these brand new characters as well. But other than that, that's going to be it for this video when talking about Pulchra. I'm very excited for all of these characters. You have no idea, especially for what they're going to be bringing into the meta. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next one, and peace.